Hello, my name is Sarah Hope Kift. I'm the Disability Officer for the Graduate Student Union at Trinity College Dublin and also a postgraduate student with a disability here. Trinity College Dublin welcomes applications from postgraduate students with disabilities. Postgraduate students who have a disability are encouraged to apply to the disability services at Trinity for support. In this short video, you'll get to meet several postgraduate students who currently use the support services that are offered from disability services. The range of services is accessible, it's confidential, and it provides postgraduate students with a range of supports that are relevant to their specific needs. There's academic support available for postgraduate research and taught programs. Assistive technology for research purposes and data gathering is also available. They provide guidance and support on disclosure and the request for reasonable accommodations. Occupational therapy services are focused on individual needs, supports for students and postgraduate professional courses, and also preparation and support for VIVA examinations. Disability services support students with any kind of disability, whether it's a physical, sensory, specific learning difficulty, ongoing illness, or mental illness. We provide support for both students with visible and hidden disabilities. Now, let's meet some of the postgraduate students here and hear some of their stories.
My name is Sandra, and I just want to talk briefly today about my experience as a partially sighted person undertaking a postgrad course in Trinity College Dublin. I was born with a visual impairment, and in 2015, complications arose and I lost most of my sight. I was just about to start my undergrad in Trinity, and after researching the disability services, I decided to go ahead with the 4-year course. So I graduated in 2019 and took a year off. I then applied for an MPhil and was accepted happily. My own experience of the disability services and how they helped me was that a disability officer was appointed to me. Together we sat down, we discussed my disability and the types of supports I might require. At that stage, a learning educational needs summary report is produced, otherwise known as a LENS report. And basically this outlines details of your disability and recommendations for the types of supports and accommodations you will need during your course. In my particular circumstances, I was assigned a library assistant who currently can send me books from the library through the post on request. I can also request journal articles or sections of books to be scanned and sent to me electronically. I have technology support from Andrew, who's the disability tech support officer. Of course, in pre-pandemic times, Trinity campus can be a very busy place. And with that in mind, disability services provide a respite room where anybody who's registered with the service can book the room and take some time out to rest in a quiet space on campus. In addition to that, there is a designated library area for people with disabilities. And in addition, in my own experience, your disability officer is always available. You can make an appointment at any time to speak in person to them. You can discuss any ongoing concerns you may have or issues that arise. And things are very flexible in the sense that your LENS report can be adjusted at any time. Additional supports or accommodations can be added. And so it just makes life an awful lot easier as somebody with a disability.
My name is Coma Kyo. I started studying in Trinity in 2015, and I did my undergraduate in single honours history. And this year I started an MPhil in medieval studies, also in Trinity, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I was born with cerebral palsy ataxia, which obviously brings its disadvantages. The biggest effect on my college career is that I can't write or type, and my speech can be indistinct. An additional difficulty for me is that since I have an invisible disability, some people can look at me and think I don't have a disability. I am currently in the history strand for an MPhil in medieval studies. The course covers the political, social, cultural and religious history of Ireland, Britain, and continental Europe across the Middle Ages. This term, the focus is on medieval sources, and I am finalizing the topic for my dissertation. Though we are learning online due to COVID, the traditional college experience is preserved, and we always have breakout groups to discuss with my classmates, which is always fascinating in terms of hearing another person's point of view. Though I miss being on campus, I'm really enjoying my studies, and the quality of teaching is outstanding. I have been working with the Disability Service since I joined Trinity. I was assigned a disability officer, and she is very approachable and helpful, and if I ever have any problems. A key support was a lens report, which I could show to my lecturers, so they would know that I would need various supports. I think the critical thing is that I study the same things as everyone else. I just study them differently. In 2016, I trained as a disability ambassador, which gave me the opportunity to interact with other students my own age with varying disabilities. It was great to be able to access a safe space to be able to discuss disabilities and how to improve disability awareness, and to know that the person that I was talking to would have an idea of my personal experience. I do have a disability, but it's just a part of me, and I never let it hold me back. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Claire, and I am a first year English PhD student. My specialism is actually medieval English texts, and I only came to Trinity last term, so this is my second term here. I have depression, anxiety, and dyspraxia, and even on a normal basis, those things can mean that I get quite overwhelmed, that I get kind of sensory overload, and that sometimes I can find it tricky to do as much work as I would like myself to do. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, which sits in a peculiar way with those three things. Relocating to Ireland in quite difficult circumstances at the end of last year was made so much easier by being able to access disability services. It's kind of helped me manage my levels of overwhelm, and I'm doing a lot of work sort of acknowledging places where if I have certain routines and habits and stick to them, it can help me keep up with the demands of the course. They provided something called a lens report that helps my supervisor and any other module leaders understand some of the barriers I face with work without directly disclosing exactly why. And I think I felt like that lent some legitimacy to sometimes me having to sort of say, I would like a little bit more time for this deadline, or I need a little bit more time to complete this task. And yeah, it's been really helpful. I'm receiving regular occupational therapy through them. It's helping me learn about myself and how I can adjust things to make myself the most productive. I actually find exploring the reasons why I'm facing certain difficulties really fascinating. And my disability officer recently completed specific training on dyspraxia, so that was perfect timing for me. I've had some support with using assistive technology, whether it's for organising my notes or supporting my everyday habits. They've pointed me to a couple of apps that I find really useful, and I can use the read and write technology, which lets me dictate my notes, collect notes from several different websites and documents, lets me tint my screen to reduce the visual stress that I struggle with. And overall, I'm really glad that I signed up with the service as soon as I got here. I do think that I would have felt much more adrift without their help. And having them there, I find them kind of comforting. It's a capable and well-informed and kind of caring point of contact. And I get on really well with my disability officer. So for me, it's been really positive.
Hi, my name is Susan. I'm doing a postgraduate in pharmacy in Trinity and I'm a registered user of the disability service. So I'm currently recovering from cancer treatment, and my biggest issue with return to study or on college is fatigue and fatigue management. So when I registered with the disability service, I was assigned a disability officer who's fantastic. I got to meet her and we went through, I suppose, my various needs or challenges. From that, I did a really good fatigue management program with the disability service. And I also found that the disability service, if you have any queries or questions or anything, they're a really great support team or point you in the right direction. As a registered user of the disability service, you get to take extra items from the library. You can use the Respite Room in college should the need arise, which is really fantastic, and you get reasonable accommodation during exam time. So to be honest, when I registered initially with Trinity, I was not very keen to register with the disability service, but I'm very glad I did. They're a really fantastic team and a fantastic support service that's there for you. So really well done, and thank you to everyone in the disability team.
Every student applying for support is provided with a disability officer and a needs assessment where individual needs are identified and discussed. Supports can be communicated in other areas of Trinity if needed. It's also possible to receive some support from disability services without disclosing. Any postgraduate student in Trinity, or prospective students, are welcome to contact the disability services to informally discuss their needs prior to making a formal application. For more information, you can email askds@tcd.ie or visit the website at www.tcd.ie/disability. Thank you.